Well, good afternoon. I'm Steve Spann, founding dean, and it is my honor to welcome you to this historic event recognizing the establishment of our University of Houston College of Medicine. At this time, I would like to introduce you to Dr. Renu Couture, President of the University of Houston. Dr. Couture.
We are very grateful. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to our Governor, Governor Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Patrick. Sorry, oh wow, I thought my voice was good enough. Okay. So I'd like to welcome Governor Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Patrick, Speaker Bonin. Without the three of yours leadership in the state legislature, in the executive in Austin, I don't think we would have been here today. I also like to thank our state legislators. Many of you are here. I'd like to acknowledge we are in the district of Representative Coleman and Senator Boris Miles, and we're grateful because without you, we could not have done it either. You all have played a very pivotal role. I'd like to just acknowledge the members who are here, and if you would just please stand, don't mind standing. I'd love everybody to see you. Senator Carol Alvarado. Senator Brandon Creighton. Senator Larry Taylor. I think he's on his way, I know. Representative Alma Allen. I know Representative Garnett Coleman. Thank you. Representative Sam Harless. Representative Rick Miller. Representative John Rosenthal. Representative Hubert Vo. Am I missing out on any other state legislators? Yes. Valerie Swanson, please. Thank you. Representative Armando Wally. Christina Morales, yes, please. I typically don't like to do this because I know I'll miss out somebody, but apparently it seems like you didn't stop by the sign-in desk, right? So it's not my fault.
I think we have a quorum, though, if we want to get anything else approved.
I would also like to acknowledge a great leader for the city of Houston, great alum and a true friend, Mayor Sylvester Turner. We also have council members, three of them here, at least Council Member Jack Christie, Council Member Mike Knox, and Council Member Dave Martin. Am I missing out on any elected official in any capacity? No, okay.
Is there anybody in here that's not an elected official? Please stand up.
Or if there is anybody here who wants to be one. County Judge. Oh, County Judge Linda Hidalgo, please welcome. Thank you all for being here. I'd also like to acknowledge our Board of Regents members. So if I could just ask you to please stand. Our Board of Regents members would be great. Thank you. And of course, welcome to all the faculty, staff, students, supporters, alumni, because you all are a member of this great Cougar Nation. You can see that it takes a village to make anything move, particularly to make any kind of big rock. However, a village always needs a leader at the helm, so it's my honor today to introduce the leader at the helm, and that's our governor. Since 2014, Governor Abbott took the helm of this greatest state in the Union, a state that believes in power of the people, power of innovation, power of entrepreneurship, and combining all of this together to create magic. And that's how our state has been leading in terms of growth and development and employment. It doesn't happen by accident, so we know whose fingerprints are there. The state has been leading in many things, but as well as in higher education. Prior to that, Governor Abbott was Attorney General for this great state of Texas. He was also Associate Justice of Texas Supreme Court. But I think his greatest contribution to the state of Texas has come in terms of selecting the very best regents for the University of Houston system. I think our regents dream together, dream big, dream bold, work and act and achieve things together, and everything starts from the top. I met with Governor Abbott in his role as Attorney General several years ago, and I remember coming back home and telling my husband Suresh that I met today somebody who's extremely engaging, analytical, passionate, and just positive. And I still remember my first impression. And then I met the First Lady, Cecilia Abbott, and then I understood the source of all of that, his strength. Together, they are leading the state of Texas in a very impactful way. Governor Abbott has been with us on our journey at the University of Houston through the years, whether it was Tier 1, whether it was TRIP, which is Texas Research Incentive Program. He has been always supporting the University of Houston, and particularly with his initiative, which is GURI, or Governor's University Research Fund. We have benefited significantly by being able to bring high caliber, top researchers to the state of Texas and to the University of Houston. Without that support, we could never have done that. Governor Abbott's personal story is equally inspiring, and if you don't know that, you should know that, because it reminds us each and every day that adversity cannot dampen your dreams, that adversity cannot take away your positive attitude, that adversity cannot steal your willingness to serve others and see others happy and prosper and develop. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor and privilege to present to you champion of higher education, friend of Houston, and a true supporter for the University of Houston, the Honorable Greg Abbott.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Renu, for your very kind words, but more importantly, thank you for your exceptional service. I want to thank you as well as what you pointed out is an outstanding group of board of directors chaired by the inimitable Tillman Fertitta. We know we would not be here if it were not for your tireless efforts. Also want to thank both the Lieutenant Governor and the Speaker for their leadership of these great members of the Texas House and Senate. Thank you first for everything that you did in an extremely successful session, a component of which is what we did to further advance the University of Houston. So thank you to the members of the Texas House and Senate for all that you have done. I want to make just 2 points. One is that exceptional achievements start with a vision that is propelled by persistent effort. And that is exactly what brought us to this point here today with both the University of Houston as well as the University of Houston Medical School. Go back in time, if you would, to the very beginnings of the University of Houston when the land was initially donated where we gather today. When that land was donated back in the early 1930s, there was not even a roadway to the land that would deliver somebody to what eventually became the University of Houston. So this is quintessential Texan. And that is, you start with a vision, you start with a dream, even though there may be no tangible elements of being able to fulfill that dream. And we know here in Texas we have the power and the ability to effectuate that dream, to work towards striving to achieve it, and help it become what it will become. In 1933, It was then that the University of Houston first became established as a state university. And then the Colin Building was added, the Law Center was added back in 1942, M.D. Anderson Library was added back in 1950. Then, in 1961, it was signed into law. Actually, it was passed by the Senate and the House, and then signed into law in 63, that the University of Houston would be a part of the Texas State University system. And I got to tell you, it is truly just coincidence and nothing more than that, that at the time that that law was passed, there was a student on this campus who at that time had a daughter born in the city of Houston who went on to become the First Lady of Texas, Renew. And then after that, we saw an acceleration of the advancement of the University of Houston, with University of Houston going on to become one of the premier research universities, not just in the state of Texas, but also across the entire globe. We saw the evolution of fun things. The evolution of fun things such as Phi Slamma Jamma. And now a new football stadium here on campus, as well as the elevation of the University of Houston to being ranked as a Tier 1 status research university in the United States of America. And now, another example of excellence. It's been the evolution of excellence that the University of Houston has experienced from its very beginning. And this medical school arrived through the same pathway that the University of Houston was able to advance. It started with a vision. And it was a vision that required perpetual effort to achieve. I cannot tell you the number of times I would have a conversation with Renew Couture without her bringing up something about the medical school. I begin to think that her first name was medical and her last name was school. But the same thing applies to Tillman, to the Board of Regents, and basically to the entire Cougar community. You made clear what your vision was. You made clear why that vision was important, not just to the school, but also to the community, about the unique challenges that we have in healthcare here in the state of Texas, about the inadequate number of physicians that we have to take care of the patients that we have in the state of Texas, and the special focus that the University of Houston is going to have in helping Texas address the growing needs of, the growing demands of medical care in our state. And it took an outstanding leader to get you there. So Renew, I want to return the kind words by thanking you, by making this point. And that is, when it comes to college leaders, such as, I think you have dual titles, if I recall, both chancellor and president. When it comes to a great chancellor, there's a difference between a good chancellor and a great chancellor. A good chancellor does a great job of elevating the status of the college and making the college a better place. But a great chancellor goes beyond that and makes the community surrounding the campus a better place. By working so tirelessly to add this medical school to the platform of all the educational opportunities that the University of Houston offers, without a doubt, Renew, you and your entire team have made the University of Houston a better university and have elevated it to amongst the very best in the United States. But equally important, by focusing on the strategies that this medical center will provide to helping our fellow Texans, you've also made the community of Houston, of Harris County, of the entire state of Texas, a far better place. Renew Couture, your fingerprints will be on this community for generations to come. And as governor of Texas, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you have done.
Thank you, Governor Abbott, for your strong support. It is now my privilege to introduce our Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick. Welcome, Lieutenant Governor Patrick, to the University of Houston.
There we go. So I was sitting here thinking, what a great day this is, not just for the university, but for the city of Houston and the state of Texas. And I was also thinking that 40 years ago, as a sportscaster on Channel 11, I took a headline in the newspaper and wrote a song called Phi Slamma Jamma, Phi Slamma Jamma, tell your mama, tell your papa about the Phi Slamma Jamma. And here I am. Who would have thought that that guy wearing a cougar hat, who had a live cougar on the set who bit me in the hand, who I took home that cougar about that big for the weekend. My wife was out of town, I didn't tell her, that tore up our leather couch. I was all in 40 years ago. Who would have thought that one day I would get the incredible privilege to be the Lieutenant Governor of the state of Texas, to work with the Chancellor and the President, to work with your Chairman, to work with the Governor and the Speaker for this great day. And this is a fabulous day. You know, since 2000, we've added 10 million people to the state of Texas. 10 million? When George Bush became president, there were 18 million of us. There are 28 million today. And in another 15 to 20 years, we're expected to add another 15 million people. So we need all the doctors, all the research, all the advancement in medicine. And I can tell you from personal experience last week, we need the very best people that we can have taking care of soon-to-be 40 million Texans. This is one of the greatest cities on the planet. This is one of the greatest universities on the planet, and it was time for this to happen. And as the governor said, I can remember, Renew, that we were sitting in a room before last session talking about how can we get this done, and we talked about some of the hurdles and some of the things we had to do to get there. She never gave up. Tillman never gave up. And because of your board and because of the legislature and because of the teamwork between the three of us this session, unprecedented teamwork, really unprecedented teamwork between a governor, a lieutenant governor, and a speaker, some great things were done, and this would be on that list of one of the greatest. So I'm delighted to be here, more than you know, and I'm delighted to have been a long-time Cougar supporter, from writing a song to help passing a bill. It's a great day for Houston. All right.
And thank you, Lieutenant Governor Patrick, for your support. It is now my privilege to introduce our House Speaker, Dennis Bonnen. Welcome, Speaker Bonnen, to the University of Houston.
Thank you. I want to begin by pointing out what has already been said. It is a team effort. We have a great group of legislators here. I'm going to ask those that have a degree from the University of Houston that are in the House or Senate, please stand so we can recognize you. Now notice many of the legislators also did not stand, but that didn't stand in the way of their being profound advocates for the University of Houston. Every one of our legislators here today and those who are unable to be with us today have worked incredibly hard to ensure that not simply the medical school, but all the resources and support for having a first-class Tier 1 institution in the city of Houston become a reality. And we talk about how important these things are, and I sit here and I think about having a new medical school. And I think my personal life. My wife is a graduate of the University of Houston Law School. And why that's profound beyond the obvious is that she was planning to go to a different law school, and I told her that I loved her and she needed to come to Houston. So thank God there was a law school in Houston for her to be able to come to. And so now there's going to be a young man or a young woman out there who's going to find the love of their life, and they're going to be able to tell them, but my love is also medicine. And they're going to say, well, come to Houston and follow your love. And so we have now allowed that opportunity here at the University of Houston. It's been almost 50 years since a new medical school has opened in our great city of Houston. And the reality of it is we cannot be a premier city without the resources of education and medicine. And so what we're accomplishing today is significant in keeping Mayor Turner, the city of Houston, as being the beacon in the country as a city that all can aspire to be a part of. It's an honor to help lead the House. The members of the House deserve tremendous credit. Dr. Zerwas, who is a graduate into the University of Houston, carried this legislation. I know he is now moving on, but I know that we all will miss him because of the leadership like he provided on passing this bill. But things like this don't happen without a team. And we've got a great team in Texas, the governor, the lieutenant governor, the House and the Senate. We work together to make sure we're delivering for the people of Texas and we're delivering for the University of Houston. Thank you for letting me be a part today.
Thank you, Speaker Bonin, for your support. It's now my privilege to introduce someone who probably needs no introduction, the chairman of the University of Houston System Board of Regents, Tillman Fertitta.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman Fertitta, for your strong and tireless advocacy for the University of Houston College of Medicine.
Thank you, sir. I will say this because everything has been said. I feel like the lucky one here. Number one, I came in 1 year after Chancellor Couture. She came along, 11 years ago? I came along 10 years ago, and I think I've been chairman with her 5 or 6 years now. But it's been magnificent because I can look at the board as I first came on, and I look at it today, and I look at the appointments that Governor Perry and then Governor Abbott made since I've been on, and we have never had an issue on boards. And if you look at the other campuses around the state of Texas, I'm so lucky to have had the pleasure of serving with all your great appointments. And the reason that we've gotten so much done with the University of Houston in the last 11 years is having the right chancellor and president and having a board as good as we have had over the last few years. Not only have we seen us become so much better in athletics, but academically we're looked across the United States as a different school. And it's amazing how much can change. I think what has been accomplished in the last 11 years, 12 years, 10 years is more than was accomplished in the previous 20 years. From the faculty, from the Cougar pride out there, and the ability to go out and have a medical school like we're starting today. I'm also lucky that I go back a long way with all three of these guys and a couple out there, Senator Alvarado, the mayor. I got to watch y'all's career and be a part of it from the very beginning. And it's great pride to be able to sit here today with all of y'all and watch all of our careers. Y'all's have done unbelievable, and I've made a couple of steps up the ladder. But it's amazing what can be accomplished with the right board, the right leadership at the school, the right legislators out there, and the right leadership at this table. And that's why I feel so lucky, is that I hit it at the right time. It's all about timing, and I feel very lucky. But I thank everybody out there that's here today, from the faculty to the students to the non-fake news media in Texas most of the time. But thank you all very, very much.
And thank you, Chairman Fertitta. And now it is my privilege to again recognize and thank our president, Renu Couture, whose energy and dedication have ensured that her bold vision for University of Houston College of Medicine is becoming reality. Dr. Couture.
So you notice I got myself second time on the program, and that is because the first time they told me in the interest of time I couldn't do this and that, so I thought, okay, now I have freedom. So first thing I want to do is I really want you to know how tirelessly and how much work our chairman has put into not just this project, but all this time, 10 years, the University of Houston. I know I always thought I dream big and I think bold, but every time I take an idea, I take it to the chairman, and he just expands those boundaries even beyond. His passion for students, his empathy for his students is unbelievable. His availability of time, no matter what part of the world he is on. If I say I need 1 minute of you, and he'll call me at 2 a.m. from Italy, and literally that has happened, so I want you to know, thank you. We appreciate you very much. And thank you once again, Governor. You're very, very kind with your words. You're just very kind to be here. And thank you, Lieutenant Governor. They cut my part out so that I couldn't introduce you, but I just, I want to say that I have been in your office several times too, and I always get a straight answer, what you said you will do and what you said you won't do, and every single time you have lived up to your word. You supported, and we just counted on you, and thank you. And I know today wasn't easy for you, it's a challenging time for you, but you are here, and that means a lot to us. Thank you. And just want to say, Speaker Bonin, thank you so much. And I do remember getting to your office first year and then at the Capitol. And you've always lended your ears. You listen very patiently. And sometimes you questioned, and your question made me rethink what I was arguing for and make me a better person in terms of arguing my case. So I wanted to acknowledge that, and thank you so much. I also wanted to acknowledge there are several of our former regents are here, and I just wanted to say that if you would please stand, because we are standing on your shoulders today as we do this. So please, if we can acknowledge you. Just we haven't talked about the College of Medicine at all, and I won't do that, but I just wanted you to know, I came here in 2008, and that 43 acres of land that was purchased, it was purchased in 2008, 6 months after my arrival here. And I go back to my notes, my journal, and says one day we might have the University of Houston College of Medicine. So the thing has been in progress all of this time, but it was in 2014, I said in half a sentence in my State of the University address that University of Houston is building UH Health with this, 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 and possibly a College of Medicine. And next day, the headline was, the University of Houston will do the College of Medicine. So once I was publicly committed, we had to figure it out how to do it. And we sent delegation to all of the best schools of medicine being developed across the country, try to see what is it that fits us that we can serve the mission, and our mission is serving the community. It's filling the gap that Houston has, because Houston is very rich with its institutions of medical profession as well as higher education. We found the right partner in 2017. We got the approval from the board in 2017. In 2018, we had our founding dean, who has been with us actually for 4 years as a planning dean. And then this year in May and June, Governor Yu and Lieutenant Governor Yu and all of the Senate and House, you converted that dream into a reality here. So I want to once again thank. And all I want you to know, our commitment is to keep on building a university here, the largest public university in Houston. We need to build a university that the 4th largest city in the United States deserves to have. And there are no ifs and buts about it, and that's what our mission, and that's why we'll keep on doing it. With that, I want to turn it over back to our Dean of the College of Medicine, Dean Span, so that he can tell you a few things about what is the mission and vision and purpose of this College of Medicine. Thank you, Dean Span.
Thank you very much, President Couture. At the University of Houston College of Medicine, we are accountable to society for improving the overall health and health care of the population of Greater Houston, of our great state of Texas, and beyond. And we aim to do that by educating a diverse group of physicians with a focus on primary care and other needed specialties in medicine, conducting interdisciplinary research to find innovative solutions to problems in health and health care, providing integrated, evidence-based, high-value care delivered to patients by interprofessional teams, and engaging, collaborating with, and empowering underserved patient populations and community partners to improve their health and health care. Over the past 4 years, I've had the honor and the joy of leading the efforts to plan, seek approvals and funding, recruit faculty, and begin to establish this new College of Medicine, which has been designed to meet the health and healthcare needs of our region and state, and it has been an exciting adventure. I want to thank all of those who have played a role in this important effort. Our elected state officials, many of whom are here today. Particular thanks to Representative Garnett Coleman, who represents our area. Thank you for your tireless support. Our Board of Regents, our president and our provost, and their leadership teams. The UH faculty and staff who have contributed so much to this effort, and the 20 new College of Medicine faculty that we have been fortunate to recruit over the past 18 months. Please stand, faculty of the College of Medicine, be recognized. And we thank our donors, those who have given so generously so that we might achieve this vision. I sincerely believe that what we are doing together will make a major contribution to improving the health and well-being of our population. Thank you very much. So now we come to the time to have the signing of the bill, and we are going to ask the members of the platform party to stand around the governor, and we would invite our state officials, our mayor, our county judge, to come stage left and observe, witness the signing of this bill.
What a great day. Great day. Congratulations.
All set.
Some of you on the left want to swing over to the right, so I'll fill out a little bit. Political? Oh, the left over here, so everyone on the right.
Did you mean politically?
From there, you're on the whole.
Yeah.
That would,